Hello and welcome back to Inkmas with my Dandelion Diaries. We are continuing on day 9 of Diamine. Hey, that kind of rhymed? Even that rhymed? Okay, anyways, I'm gonna stop now. Let's just open this door and see what we get today. Okay, so today's ink, it looks like it's gonna be another maybe lighter one because it's got that black text like the Marie Rose and the blush ink had. And it's another standard, very interesting. I can't tell if this is going to be green or teal though. The stickers are so deceiving this year. It's a struggle. Looking in the bottle though, it looks like it's going to be green. So I'm gonna pick a green pen this time. Okay, I kind of picked a pen that has green and purple and teal. So I don't know. I went based on the label and we're going to see if it matches at all. But this is the Carolina Pen Company's Convert model in the resin called White Twilight. It does have a very nice velvety matte finish. I really love this pen. This does have a medium nib on it and it writes, oh no, it has a fine nib on it, but it writes more like a medium. So I'm hoping it's going to be juicy enough in case this ink is dry. So let's hope. I am pleasantly surprised with the color of this. It's almost like a mint color, it makes me think of Bluebell's mint chocolate chip ice cream. I really like it. I'm excited to see what it looks like in a swatch and if there's anything exciting happening with it. First impressions of this one, I kind of like it, like a lot. I don't see too many light, cool toned greens that actually look green and not teal or turquoise. I do feel like this is a green ink and it just has a really nice, cool undertone. And it is a bit lighter, kind of like a honeydew or like a sweetgrass, like wheatgrass even, kind of look to it. It's giving very much like spring, which is funny considering this is a holiday advent calendar, but I'm definitely a fan of the color. I'm excited to see in the pen if it's dry after writing for a full page or if it's just going to be a bit more standard flow. Starting off with it, it's doing pretty well, so I'm hopeful that it's going to behave the way I want in the end of this. I finished my full page and can confirm this ink behaved beautifully in this pen. This is a very juicy writer, so maybe I had just great success, but I loved this. This was fantastic. It's giving like a pastel Christmas, and I really like that for some reason. I don't know, like baby's first Christmas. I don't know. It's just giving very young pastel sweet vibes. I really like the kind of blooming that's happening in the shading of the swatch here too, but I do want to go ahead and compare it to the other greens that I have swatched before and see if I have anything kind of remotely close to this. Off the top of my head, I can't think of too many. So it's a very Kelly green, blue green, minty color that's really, really nice. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if I have anything that's remotely close to this. This is Diamine document green up here, but I really feel like they're not really that close in the writing, but in the swatch, maybe. This is a very nice ink. I'm very happy with Bittersweet. Okay, it's kind of similar to another document ink or pigment ink. This is 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗃, which is from their sketch ink line. The hues are similar and they're a bit more of like that blue undertoned green, but Clara is much darker, I would say, in writing and does have a bit more of the blue undertone. Bittersweet is a bit lighter and is a bit more green. Okay, so great match is going to be Sailor Ink Studios 160, and that ink behaves beautifully. So if you're not a fan of the way Bittersweet is behaving, definitely check out Sailor Ink Studios 160 because those are pretty darn close if you ask me. I don't think I'm gonna have too many matches for this one. Yeah, I really don't. This is Ferris Press's Down the Don Valley, which has a kind of silver shimmer with it. It is a bit greener than Bittersweet, but I'd say they're about the same level of color, like depth, like tone. Waringel's 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗏 is also kind of similar, but I think the shading of 𝗦𝘃𝗽𝗏 makes it completely different and it's also much lighter. Okay. Andrew Williams' Luna Moth Green is kind of close. I do think Luna Moth Green is slightly lighter and has this really cool like gray beigey shady thing that it does. Bittersweet is kind of similar in the writing though. Maybe a little bit darker, just a smidge. Not by much though. And that's all I have for greens. Let's just look at teals for fun and see if I put anything in here that would be remotely close. This is Pilot Green. It's a bit too dark for Bittersweet, if you ask me. 𝗬𝗪𝗛𝗏 Mint Turquoise is kind of close, but again, much darker. These were the two I was hoping to find. Okay, so we have Ferris Wheel Press Grand Central Skies with this one, which has a silvery shimmer on it. It is a bit lighter and a bit drier, I would say, than Bittersweet. Ferris Wheel Press Morningside Mint, though, I think is closer in terms of like swatching colors. In writing, though, I think the Morningside Mint is slightly lighter, but very, very close to the same color as Bittersweet. These would be really good matches, I think, in terms of like full dupes. The shading might be the only thing that sets them apart, and just the slight difference in lightness. Okay, this is Aquarius Whispers from the Colorverse Color Event of 2024. So if you couldn't get your hands on this one because it did not get voted for, maybe check out Bittersweet. Bittersweet is slightly lighter, but they're very similar, I think, in color. Bittersweet's slightly more green though. And then this is Mint Twist from last year's Black Inkvent from Diamine, and it has this really fun like chroma shading, or not chroma shading, dual toned shimmer that's like pink and turquoise. I don't think they're that close together. I think Mint Twist is definitely a bit more of a teal and Bittersweet is definitely a bit more of a green. So glad to see that those are so different, but definitely happy to see that Aquarius Whispers might have a second chance with Bittersweet, just because this ink is gorgeous and it did not make it to the final round, which is sad. Anyways, I think that's all I got for Bittersweet. I'm pretty satisfied with this one. I think it's very, I don't know, I like it because it flowed really nicely in this pen, and the shading in it is just really cute, and I don't know, it's just giving such a pastel Christmas vibe to me, and I really like that. I don't really know the naming why it was Bittersweet is the choice they chose, so if anybody wants to do some research and kind of label that down in the comments. I loved when y'all give trivia about like the different ink names, especially when it's UK based, because I'm in the US and I don't necessarily understand certain naming that they choose. But I do like this one quite a lot. In the kind of watery blob here, we see tones of a bit yellow, some blues and greens. So I do think this is a pretty solid green ink with the blue undertone that I mentioned. I really like this one. Overall, final thoughts, it's a win for me. I'm interested to see if this is going to be the winner of the day for me, because I haven't swatched Colorverse yet, but I'm definitely a fan, and I definitely think I will probably most likely use this ink and this pen from the future now. I might try it in something else, but I really like the way it looks in this pen and how it wrote with this pen. This pen is fantastic. Yeah, I'm a fan. Love to hear your thoughts on this one in the comments. I think it is a bit light for some, but I do like that it is a more lubricated light ink. It's not super dry like the Marie Rose was for me. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it off here, head over to Colorverse, but if you're not joining me there, definitely see me tomorrow for day 10. We're pretty much, what is that, 50%, almost 50% of the way through of the calendar. I think my math is not that strong, I'm sorry. But we're getting really close to the halfway point for sure in terms of Inkmas, which is a little bittersweet. Anyways, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye.